Greetings, fellow aviators. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Forever Skies, Episode 2, A Proper Heading. I need a little bit more metal to build the room, so I'm pointing myself into the wind so I can collect more easily. There we go. That's all I needed. Just going to put a standard room. In order to do that, what I'm going to need to do is to remove the engine off the back, because it will clip into where the room's going to be. So I'm just going to briefly sort of park this so I don't fall to my death trying to grab that engine. I'm going to pick up the research table because it's in my way. In order to move the engine, I have to also remove the fuel from it.
Maximum flight speed reduced.
Because items can't, or things that you remove can't have things inside them. So like, you know, a cooking station wouldn't be allowed to have water in it, or an engine not allowed to have fuel in it. I might need to go up a little, because, well, okay, no engines. Let's see if the room will fit anyway. Oh, now I need more synthetics. Oh, it'll work. So here we go. Got a second room. We've just doubled our real estate. It's free real estate. Maybe it would help if I put the engines back.
Maximum flight speed increased.
And the expanding airship, so build a wall. Let's go ahead with a glass wall, which I think I already know how to build. So a window wall costs me metals and synthetics far more than I currently have. So give me one moment.
Immunity is decreasing. Diseases might become more severe.
Lady, I hear you. I don't plan on getting disease, though. In order to get diseases, you need to be, like, attacked by something or eat something wrong. I guess there. Oh, you know, apparently that doesn't even count for a wall, so I'm gonna have to do, like, a plastic wall. Okay. So, we have a plastic wall. Let's get a bed, because the reason my disease resistance is decreasing is we're quite hungry. And then also when you sleep, you will become more hungry and thirsty. You know, your status effects don't pause during sleep. So I'm also going to want to build a simple lure to catch some food and cook it when I'm up. So there's the simple insect lure.
Printing completed.
I'm going to want the basic turbine soon. So for the basic turbine, I don't have all the materials required. I need 5 more metal, but you can like enter into the research table all that you currently have, which is pretty useful because later on you'll have to research things that require a lot of ingredients, and that frees up a lot of inventory space if storage is at a premium. Oh, another thing, the insect lure actually has to be able to go into the dust layer. So if you've got some sort of train blocker below you, it will be stopped. Alright, then the other thing I wanted was a bed. It's quite cramped in here, but we'll make improvements. I'm also going to remove this wall. I don't care for it to be a wall. Just the game's tutorial told me to build it, so I obliged.
Printing completed.
If you're annoyed by the sound of the insect lure, you do get better lures later on that do not make that kind of noise. Improved ones that aren't, you know, annoying. Things will be crafted and cook and rot and everything as time elapses as you rest. So, plan accordingly. It's possible the Duthmost that I tried to capture is now rotted. Probably not. No, it was fine. Gonna want a little bit more water, so I'll do the condenser membrane. You do get later on the ability to make your own water catchers, your rain catchers, which work particularly well in big storms. So my current priority right now is to get to the double. Well, actually, you guys could decide. So what to do next? Find more blueprints. Go to the double light. Or expand the ship. Leave it up to you. And whatever the case might be, I'll probably need resources for it, so I'm gonna sit on my little deck extractor, because there's a lot of resources just floating on by. And much like the collection nets of Raft, that too, this process too, becomes automated at some point. So for now, I think what I'll do is get through the research projects that I have on hand. But my battery level on this research table is 10%, so there's not going to be much. Oh shoot, I have a storm. There's not going to be much more research. Yeah, there we go. Not much more research that we'll be able to do until it dies, and it just died. So dramatic.
Research finalized.
Now, during storms, the game will warn you about storms. What you want to do during storms is to fly low so that you're not the highest point in the storm, because the higher elevated you are, the more likely you are to have your ship get struck. And it's not good to get your ship struck by lightning. It will do a lot of damage to your ship very, very quickly. You will regret it.
Research finalized.
So here's our first storage box. For now, I'm just gonna shove them in. And I'm gonna play it dangerous. I'm gonna put the first aid away, thinking I won't need it. So you guys want me to get more blueprints? Okay, got it. So one big point of advice I have for you guys is to head in one cardinal direction as long as you can. The reason is, I find it difficult. This is one maybe quality of life feature that I would add to the game. I find it difficult to remember where I've been. So if you fly, like, let's say only south, it's going to be pretty easy for you not to revisit the same locations multiple times. Whereas if you are flying all around, you're going to, like, end up heading to the same points of interest that you did before. And that is a big honk and waste of your own time. So I highly advise you to fly in a single direction so that that doesn't happen to you. But hey, if you want to do it, I'm not going to stop you. Just... So right now, I've chosen north as my, like, generic direction. But it doesn't matter what direction you pick. There are mountains on the map, which will act as terrain blockers, but except for going into the mountains, all directions are kind of equally... No, they're the same. Can you fly in any direction to finish the story? Yes and no. Every story tower has multiple versions of itself, for now at least. So there are versions of that tower in every direction, kind of like Raft. Raft was sort of similar, where it doesn't really matter what direction you go, you'll happen upon the right kind of island eventually. But realistically, the game will sort of tell you what the closest one is, so you might want to fly to that closest version. Okay, anchored. And I made another engine so that we could fly faster. So I'm gonna get this engine slapped on.
Maximum flight speed reduced. Maximum flight speed increased.
Just mind my footing.
Maximum
What I need is
flight
a
speed
catwalk out
decreased.
here. In fact, let's just make one. Oh, it's centered up enough. Split the stack. Oh, you know what? I'll just make more fuel. It's going to be less effort than... So I'm going to want the fuel anyway. Hello, moths. The map. You know, I don't know if it's procedural or mixed. I think it's mixed. I think the islands, let's call them, are like preset, but then the arrangement of islands might be procedural. I'm not sure. And also, I don't think it matters. The reason being, the reason being it's really hard to tell whether it's procedural or not. So even if it's not, it's got me fooled, you know? Which is why I don't think it matters all that much. Because it feels pretty random, like you can explore in really any direction. So I did not get the prompt that there are new technologies here. There will be on most of these towers, and it's probably the best way to tell whether you're on a new tower or not, is to pull the beacon's battery. And then when you fly up to these towers, just check the battery to see if the battery compartment is opened or not. This thing. Because if that thing's loaded, you've been here, you know. If it's not loaded, you haven't, so. Oh, and I see your point with the glass. Yeah, that glass is scannable. I think. All it's going to tell me is that I collect glass with the deck extractor, though. It's not really fancy research. Just prompting a little tutorial element going, oh, you want glass? Just extract it like everything else. But even these rinky-dink islands that don't have much will still have electrical elements and plastic and stuff like that, so... Oh, and a data card. So this is for a metal floor. I think probably we're going to go windows over metal, but I'll ultimately give you guys the decision once I have more of the ship built. And we have a poster. So there's a little bit of glass for me to grab off of that building. My extractor is... okay. Nice. So I am looking... yep, looks like there's one to my northwest. A new tower. And then the next things I want to build would be turbines to give me more...
Fast flight altitude zone. Risk of airship damage.
Hello. Bumped something. I bumped one of those debris. So I'm gonna build some turbines so I can get a little bit more elevation. So I'm pointing myself into the wind so that I can more easily get it. So in order to build a turbine, and I'm probably going to want two, I need more metals. So metals is what I'm after. Which, there ain't many in the air here. So I'm actually going to get to my point of interest because it's possible to get more metal that way. There's also metal in the physical structures that are coming out of the ground. So you could get a lot of metal from dismantling, not that tower, but some of the towers around will have metal, you know, metal structures that you can dismantle. I'm not getting prompts for more research, so I think it might be time to go to the double blinking towers. The game might actually be restricting my blueprint finding in lieu of steering me towards those towers. Which is fine. Won't take me long to do that. Now, the little data pads with, like, random cosmetic unlocks will not be signaled by the auditory, you know, AI assistant or whatever you want to call her. The data pads that I've found so far. Because they're not, like, mission critical. They're not the right type of unlock. Well, yeah, I think we done looted this, all but the solid-state battery. Yoink! So the double metal points of interest, or the double blinking points of interest, is obviously the thing right ahead of me. But I think I'm going to need more altitude in order to be able to get it, which means I'm going to need at least one turbine, if not two. It was 35 metal per turbine. So I should start working on that. No, so these double white lights are still generic lights. They're just a different type of point of interest. Everything will be more revealed because eventually you get radar. You get like a map. In fact, I think I'm getting a map at this point of interest, if I recall. Oh, I should have scanned that. Oh well. So that right there was copper that I just collected off of that wind turbine. So this is a wind tower, as you can see, type of point of interest. But I need a basic turbine to be able to reach it because its docking is higher than my current max elevation. So that's what the game's prompting me about. This is a bad setup because I would need catwalks all the way back, so I can't really fuel my craft in the current setup. I could actually just break down the bed and get the bed out of the way and only deploy the bed, because the bed very neatly fits into that box when I'm not using it. So we got the tool charger. We have copper for the tool charger mounted circuit board. We have copper, but not the metal, for a rainwater collector. And then the advanced lure, we have everything we want for it. The advanced lure has twice the durability and attracts larger bugs, so it's more fulfilling. The perfectionist in me is going to shiver at the design that I'm about to do, but it's just because I can't get...
Maximum flight altitude increased.
I can't get to the back of the ship as easily. But we do have a turbine now, so I should be able to get here. So the current priority right now is search the wind farm, or wind point of interest. I can drop the copper to scan it? No, I think actually just the act of looting it gave me the scan. I could be wrong, but I think that might have been the case. Because I think I already have it in my encyclopedia now. Kind of moot, because I'm surrounded by copper here. And none of it is shimmery, so I'm assuming that I have it in my database. But I'm going to want more of it. Copper's one of those things that you're probably going to want a good 50 or so of in storage. Maybe 100. It's not a super... It's not like synthetic and metal, which you're going to want a few hundred of, because synthetics and metal are used a lot more. But copper's still used, especially for electronics. Hey, Nabla, thank you for the resub. Actually, Hipponaz and Marauder as well, and Velhar. Thank you all. Alright, I have a little bit too much clean water. Oops. Oh well. And I can use some of my resources in order to obtain, you know, research projects.
Research finalized.
Alright, let's touch down. Gentle. I'm not parking, like, into the wind, which is not great. So it's going to be hard to use the deck extractor because I won't be able to see it coming.
Analysis completed. Detected new objects requiring...
So this is a standard wind farm. And you can see I have 7% of the scans here. So I've scanned copper, but not radar, helium, circuit boards. So the copper was scanned when I extracted it. That right there is radar. So that one's kind of important to scan. Important to scan. One of the best upgrades. And then this here is helium. Very important for expanding your balloon, your blimp. There's nothing in that direction. This direction looks just like more copper, which I can't collect by hand, so I'll have the deck extractor do it. Yeah, it's just copper. 3 things of copper. Are there different biomes? Yeah, or at least... Well, yeah, alright. So there's different points of interest and different biomes. Yeah. Depletion of the trash. This is our last shipment here. The lift we operated on seems to have been completely plowed through. We don't even know if our last harvest will be useful to anyone for anything. If you see something here for yourself, take it without question. Well, it's trash, and I don't need any of it. But I will take the helium. It's funny to think that, like, because, you know, the Earth is actually kind of running out of helium. It's funny that it's, like, sort of a plentiful resource in this apocalyptic future. So here's a circuit board. I didn't really need a scanner. I could have just picked it up. But, there you go. Machine parts, a lantern. I guess I'll pick up the lantern. Fine. Oh, I have 2 lanterns? No, I just didn't grab it. Oh, no, I have 2 lanterns now. Oh, great. The solid-state battery. I can pick up really heavy stuff, but I can't run. Yep. Gym swole. I think that's about it, other than the copper that I haven't harvested. But the circuit board is going to allow me to craft a whole lot of new stuff. So, here we go. Let's first learn how to make circuit boards with our circuit board. because the other research projects would be unattainable if I use the circuit board up to research them first. And what to do next will be up to you after I do the radar. So add radar to the ship. So in order to do location radar, I research it with just regular old copper. Easy peasy. And here's circuit boards, and I'll print one up so I can do some more research for like tool recharging.
Printing completed.
The extractor is a handheld deck extractor, like one of these, which you can take with you to be able to unlock, like, or disassemble walls and things like that, which is very, very handy. I am going to research the helium fuel, I guess. Here's the circuit board so I can do the tool recharger.
Research finalized.
Whoa. So, tool recharger, I think, over the motherboard. Motherboard's not going to become relevant until a little bit later on.
Research finalized.
And it seems like you guys want me to expand the ship. That's cool. Come on, hit the pixel. Okay. A bit easier. Can I make another circuit board? I need electrical elements. I can do that.
Printing completed. Printing completed.
I'm not, I don't think these lanterns really are ever useful. All they do is, like, add a kilo to your boat. Which isn't really a lot of weight. There we go, motherboard.
Research finalized.
And then for the airship, the fabricator, I have done all the research that I need, but I do have the ability to expand the balloon, to research how to expand the balloon with helium and copper, or to build another balloon core. Now, here is where I will chime in my own opinion. The balloon core here, probably you don't need multiple cores. Maybe later on in the game, like in future development, you're going to need a airship that is very large and has a lot of heavy things. But for now, the balloon core that you start off with is fine. One of the other reasons why you don't really need other balloon cores is you would need a ship that was like really, really wide in order to even utilize extra balloon cores, because they go side by side. So you would need like a 5 wide ship to even make it worth it, which is kind of a honker. And it's way larger than, you know, it's way larger than what is currently necessary in the game's development. I'll put it that way. So that's just my 2 cents. If you want to build a giant behemoth boat, that's cool. One thing I will say is next patch, which is coming in like a week or two, is going to make it a lot easier to have giant behemoth boats. But right now, and the reason that is, well, right now, for you to be able to go to new points of interest, you have to land on them. Which means your ship has to be, like, kind of agile and able to land on the little landing pads. Oh, there's a storm coming. Let me park this down. Next patch, what they're doing is they're working on something that gives you, like, a landing deck. An expandable sort of, like, ladder to go out and be able to deploy onto surfaces so that your ship itself doesn't have to land. Just the landing platform can extend upon it. which makes it a lot easier. But for now, my opinion is because of the fact that, like, there's not a lot of advantage to have a super wide ship, it will just make everything a lot more difficult in the game. It is more bang for your buck to just... More bang for your buck to expand your blimp backwards rather than have 2 cores. Which means I might eventually get balloon core research, but right now I just want the expand balloon research. And man, this storm is loud. Shush. I mean, it should be loud, right? It's a big old storm. I got struck by lightning. So one of the issues here is I'm parked, but like I'm still way... I'm the kind of the highest thing here. Okay, I see the problem. Turbine's broken. So I am going to limp off the side and lower myself so that the wind tower gets hit, not me. Because that hurt. There we go. So, adding the radar to the ship is still what I want to do, but then after I add the radar to the ship, I will expand it. So here's the radar. I need 1 circuit board. That means I need 15 plastic scrap, which means I need a little bit more synthetic, because I'll need 90 to craft the plastic. Oh, that's not enough. 1 more. Storm sounds really good? Yeah. The audio, everything, like I said, is really polished in the game. I mean, it still has bugs. It's early access, right? But it's very solid. Alright, now that I got the circuit board, what am I missing? Nothing. Fantastic. It is very difficult to find what I need to harvest in this storm. I don't really need to be farming, though, mid-storm. So I am moving my rudder controls back a little bit. As you'll understand as soon as I get the radar, it makes using the radar a lot easier.
Printing completed.
Our radar's done. So you can slap radar to the window like this, and now that I've moved the rudder controls back, I have a pretty good vision. And then if I want to see the radar, I can look up and see the radar. Can I automate the extractor? Yes. You can get an automatic deck extractor eventually. Expand the ship. Cool. So, first order business before I even bother to expand the ship, I need to sleep. Did I? Oh, the bed's right here. Hey, Chief Dog, thank you for the bits. Are you enjoying this so far? I know you were excited. So I think the best way to expand would be to get rid of the catwalks they gave me and to build 3x3 behind me. That is going to be my most bang for my buck. Give me a lot of room to maneuver around the base and all that. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Actually, before I do that, there's one more thing that comes first. I'm going to want a tool charger, because if I start building the base, my airship building tool will eventually run out of charge, and my scanner tool is actually almost out of charge. So I'm going to get the tool charger first, because I just know that it's going to be required in order to build anything significant.
Printing completed. Printing completed.
So 2 circuit boards. What did I need? Yeah, 2 circuit boards now. A lot of plastic scrap. That's going to be expensive to source, but ultimately worth it. So the wind is coming in from the northwest, but it's dark as hell and I can't see anything. The other thing I could do is to grab plastics off of one of the basic towers. So up at my radar HUD, that little hexagonal question mark is like a new type of point of interest, which might be interesting to go towards. But I'm at least going to go towards the next tower over, hoping it is not one of the towers I've explored so far. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, there is not a good way to see on the radar the points of interest you've been or not, other than the fact that the question-marked hexagonal one is obviously one that I haven't been to, but there's not like a clear way to denote that you've been to specific towers before. So like this tower, for instance, I have to fly all the way up, and flying up I can like glance at the fact that it has like glass walls intact and a beacon battery intact, meaning that I haven't been here. But from a distance, as far as I know, there's not really a good way. That would be one of the things to add to my wish list, you know, of features I would like. And maybe that would be, you know, an advanced radar station that you unlock later on or something like that. But I haven't been here. So the reason I'm stopping here is in order to make the circuit boards, I'm going to need a sizable amount of plastic. And instead of just like farming synthetics from the air for like 20 minutes, it's better for me to just go. Of course, this trash pile does not have any. It was a good idea until it wasn't, right? Hey, Laura, thank you for the resub. Are you able to zap everything floating in the air? Not moth clouds, no. So not everything can be zapped, just most. And then also at these points of interest, you can find like more electrical elements, which is going to help me out. A data card for glass floors, nice. Tons of repair kits. I don't really need dirty water. My stupid blimp is blocking me from the last plastic, because some jerk parked poorly. But yeah, those plastic bottles are required for things like circuitry. Oh, I got it anyway. Oh, also, if you ever park where you can't get back on board, looking at your catwalks, you can hit hold E and climb on board. And then, more exploitatively, there's an unstuck feature, which kind of like teleports you back. Because it's totally possible without that feature that you could just like drop off the edge onto a platform and then like literally never get back to your Zeppelin, right? Or your airship. So there is that unstuck feature here in the escape menu. So if you find yourself doing something really dumb where you're like, oh, yeah, I'm not getting back home ever, luckily there's a solution for that.
Printing completed.
So I have said that I wanted to go mostly north, but I'm going to head over to this unknown point of interest because I want to. And as democratic as I usually am, not this time. But also because I just want, like, plastics, and it's the closest point of interest that I know about. The clear weather... Uh-oh. We're going to be moving nice and slow. One of my engines is out of fuel. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, and of course, in my infinite wisdom, I put a glass wall there. There we go. You're fueled. I barely have any fuel left, though. Thank you for tuning in to Forever Skies, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 4th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you on next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.